All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Wiggles free. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. They go back to Riddick. And some room to roam now. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 7 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
So now on 4th down, Sean Payton's going to turn it over to the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's complete to John Ross. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Ertz has it left side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll set up a throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The numbers for Mixon last week: 16 carries, 104 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity, because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line is going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here, because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On first down, Stafford here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses, it's understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out throwing here on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. Here's the... Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Back to throw, Stafford. He finds Riddick, complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are in for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go. Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Caught by Nelson left side. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. The Eagles on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They'll look to throw here. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they'll search for that patience here now. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
From the red zone now, Stafford. The completion to Riddick. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so. Because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Theo Riddick with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Riddick with a carry. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
So we've reached Happy Holidays, Larry. Your gift. Take the halftime show off, partner. We've got some football to get to. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads.
Touchdown, Detroit! Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't
And
you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting.
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's Riddick. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off right around the 43, and they will set up shop in and... Elsewhere, fourth quarter score now for...